Do you right now think they're all in on Mitch as we go in a very tough division going forward?
Yeah, they are. They're all in on Mitch. Here's why. When Mitch Trubisky heard the rumblings from fans, coaches, teammates of his performance, it didn't sink in until the Bears actually did something about it. They brought in Nick Foles, who we know is very capable of being a starter. And when I've seen competitions like that happen, the best response is for someone like Mitch Trubisky to say, okay, now it's real. Before everyone was just talking, now it's real. They brought in somebody, and if I don't step up my game, I'm going to be on the bench watching every Sunday. And what did he do? He became more accurate. He became more comfortable in the pocket. We already know he's very mobile. So there's nothing in Mitch Trubisky, in the management, and Ryan Pace, the GM, or Matt Nagy, with saying, okay, we're just going to ride this guy out and then get fired, right? It doesn't make sense. So he had to perform. He stepped up, and so far, he's the starter.
You played in the NFC South for a lot of years. You know the sensibility of it. So Tom Brady's been over in the AFC. Now he goes to the NFC. Now he's in the NFC South. He's got to go to the He's got to play in a couple of domes. Give me your thoughts on Brady and the introduction to that division and the little secrets of it and the little nuances of the NFC South that you learned being there 6 years in New Orleans.
I'd say the little nuances of the NFC South. When I was there was, I think, maybe one time that we actually were able to repeat as division champs. And it's because everyone was so evenly matched as far as talent. And then when you take now going to a Sunday, you're taking, a good day as far as the game plan. If a cornerback is on or off, if, a quarterback is injured or running back is injured. And that was basically what was deciding the division champs, right? Injuries at the time, how well the team played or didn't play, etc. So Tom Brady is not going into, he has to understand, he's not going into the AFC East where it's easy to just reign supreme. Look at the quarterbacks right now in the NFC South. Look how dominant the quarterbacks have been. We're talking about Drew Brees, who's been dominant for, it feels like 30 years, just as good as Tom Brady. So it's not enough for Tom Brady to just go out there, do his thing, he puts up some points, and we're done. It's all good. No, it's not going to happen that way. In the NFC South, it has to be both sides of football, complementary football. Everyone always talks about complementary football. The defense is going to have to step up. And if the defense can't hold a Drew Brees, a Matt Ryan, it's not going to happen. It doesn't matter how well Tom Brady plays. So he'll understand that as the games go on. There's going to be the learning curve of the timing with him and his offensive players. They brought in Fournette, who's awesome. But again, that won't sink in until probably week 4, week 5 of the season.
So if you've ever been on a team, Von Miller out potentially the year for Denver. So you're just about to start the season. Have you ever been on a team and you lose a star player, what does it do to the locker room?
Man, it deflates the locker room, man. It is tough, especially with someone as dynamic as Von Miller, because when you're an offensive coordinator, you're a head coach, offensive-minded head coach, you literally build a game plan around Von Miller. That is what you do. You say, okay, there is one guy, and it's happened. Sean Payton is coming to team meetings, going up against some of the best defensive guys, and the first thing they start with, we have to account for this guy every time. And whether it's in a quick passing game, whether it's a chop block, whether it's running away from him, whatever it is, you have to account for him. So now Denver loses this game-changing player, this generational player in Von Miller. It makes it that much easier for the opposing offenses to now attack the defense. And then going back to the locker room, who's the tree, right? Who's the foundation that's going to say, all right, let's go, guys. When times are tough, we need to make a play. Who's going to be that guy to make the play? And when I say the tree, he's the one that was the foundation. He held the defense for the Broncos together. If you don't have that anymore, it's tough sledding, man. It's hard enough in the NFL to win, and not having a game-changing player like him, it's going to be real tough, real deflating for the Broncos.
Jonathan Vilma won a title with the Miami Hurricanes, then won a Super Bowl championship with the New Orleans Saints. Let's talk about Kansas City. So you're on a Super Bowl team in New Orleans, and it just seems natural. You win the Super Bowl, you have the trophy, everybody in town knows your name and your face. The natural letdown. Take me to your post-Super Bowl year. Take me to what you suspect the Chiefs will face. What is the hardest part about winning the Super Bowl and returning 6 months later to play?
The hardest part, first part would be the business side of the NFL that happens after they win the Super Bowl. There's still some hard cuts that need to be made, some signings, some trades. So as much as you want to keep that team together, because literally that team is what won your Super Bowl, as much as you want to keep that team together, you can't. The business side starts to take over. That's what happened to us in 2009. We won in 2010. Then from there, you have to now say what you just said. There's a letdown. There's a letdown. And we all knew about this letdown. So we try to work even harder. We try to counter against that. Well, it's not just the letdown. It's the letdown plus your opponents they're vying for you. It's that you have a bullseye on your back. And everyone is going to watch the film on how to attack Patrick Mahomes, period. And now Patrick Mahomes is so great, you can't stop him. You can slow him down. I'm certainly going to watch that San Fran tape in the Super Bowl of the first 3 quarters 20 times to figure out every little thing I can do to gain an edge. And that's what's going to happen for the Kansas City Chiefs. Everyone's looking to gain an edge. And the difference in NBA playoffs and NFL playoffs, you don't have to be right 4 times out of 7. You only got to be right 1 time. You only have to have one bad game in Patrick Mahomes or the defense to have a letdown for it to be over, and that's it. There may be a team, let's say, Baltimore Ravens, right? They're pretty damn good. There may be a team that has a great day, and it's just not Kansas City's day in the playoffs, and they lose. And that's it. They don't get them 7 times and go win 4 out of 7. It doesn't happen that way. So it's going to be very, very tough. I experienced it as much as we wanted to. Couldn't happen for the repeat. I've experienced it. It's going to be very tough for the Chiefs.
Jonathan Vilma is now part of the Fox Sports family. It is great having you in. Good luck, Bears and Lions. That is a 1 o'clock game Sunday Eastern on Fox. And we'll have you on often.